Welcome to the Gathering Place podcast. My name is Joe Seaman, a real estate agent in the Augusta, Georgia, Aiken, North Augusta, South Carolina area. I run the J Properties Group, brokered by Meybohm Real Estate.
My name is Hope Seaman, and I am a chaos coordinator and a Jill of all trades.
So we are a little over 3 weeks post Hurricane Helene.
Well, first, hello, everybody. So that would be probably a good thing. Hello.
I just was jumping right into it.
Right in.
So,
yes, I don't know how many days.
A little over 3 weeks.
Okay.
Today.
Okay.
So the needs are great.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple weeks ago, we just put out quickly that we wanted to help with the needs of people in Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
And
in our community, like 110% showed up.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I mean, so this was something that we were like, okay, if we can collect like a truckload, we would be over the moon, happy, and take to Western North Carolina. And ended up, we took 2 slam-packed moving vans up to North Carolina. Even the people working at the donation center where we took our stuff were blown away.
Yeah.
And so
I stayed in the van, like sorting things like to put on the cart because I felt bad because I don't think they were prepared.
They weren't. So thank y'all for everyone who showed up and donated. Like, that's first and foremost.
Right.
Like, we are so grateful because we had no clue it was going to get that big. And even after, like, we are still getting, like, I just got a message from upstairs saying that they have more stuff for us to take.
Awesome.
So y'all continue, because it has been an absolute blessing for for all of those who are receiving. But also, people have just showed up and showed out with their monetary donations, as far as like, hey, I can't go buy stuff or use my funds and just get what they need. And so we've been able to do that too. You ordered like 50 sleeping bags.
So I actually that's not even like, locally, but so we bought out what I could find for that last trip that we just went on.
Bought the stores out here locally.
And then, people as well. And so sleeping bags, tents, things like that are in like certain price ranges. Like we're not, I'm trying to be very economical with and
quality, but economical.
Yes, but I'm also trying to be a good steward of the funds that were donated. And so, long story short, locally here at the Academy Sports, we couldn't get what we needed anymore. So I went online
because they were sold out.
They were sold out. So I went online and I was like, okay, I can get them here and just get them shipped. Like, that's not a big deal. Well, in my cart, when it was over with, it was going to be over $500 to ship it. And I looked at Joe and I was like, Joe, this doesn't feel like I'm being a good steward. Like I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. And I hem-hawed around for like a minute. And I even thought, because we have an address that the next place that we're going to, and I was like, what if I could just, if I've got to pay the shipping, then let's just have it shipped there, and then we'll still bring the van with stuff. Long story short, I just thought about it, and I called the stores here locally, and they were like, you can have a ship-to-store option. I was like, oh, well, I didn't see that on my website. So I went and looked, didn't see it again. And so I called Corporate Academy, and they were so cool about it. They said, what are you trying to do? I explained, and I was like, this is $500 in shipping, and I just feel like that's $500 that we could put towards things for people.
Just 25 more sleeping bags.
Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't want to, I don't know. Anyway, the lady was so helpful. She let me break up the order, place it in 2 separate orders, and with it, that would bring the shipping for both like orders, since they were separated, to under $300. I know it's a lot. It's just a corporate company. They did this. It became less, and then they waived the shipping because it was under $300. And so I just was kind of blown away with that. I mean, not how often do you have like corporate America that will sit there and I know that sounds bad, but they didn't have to do that, and they did. And so we were able to tack on more sleeping bags onto that order, and it was free shipping. And so it'll be shipped to the house. We'll load it up in the van, and we'll go this next run with them. But locally, corporately, like, people are really cool right now.
Yeah. I mean, just such giving hearts and giving spirits. You were at Costco and
Oh, yeah, that was
had
pretty cool.
cartfuls of the stuff, and someone stopped you
A lot of people stopped me.
and was like, "What are you doing?"
First of all, they thought I was
And-
a stalker, like a stalker, like I was stalking the clothes, and I was like, "No, that's what I'm doing." And then somebody was like, "What are you doing?" You know, and it was cool. It
Yeah.
was just cool to have a
But
conversation.
you passed my number out to someone,
Yeah.
and he literally called me right after and wants to donate. My mom, same thing. She ran into some people. They wanted to donate. Like, this thing, what people want to genuinely help.
They do.
And this is a great way because, you know, just what I've been talking to people I don't think that us who still have homes and places to go, yes, some of us were displaced. Some of us are still being displaced.
There's still things
There's a
going
lot
on in
of
our
devastation in locally, but I believe all power is restored as of right now.
I don't know.
So
We
and
don't know
that's-
that for. I mean,
I don't know that for sure, but I know Aiken Electric has restored all power.
Yeah.
So I would think SC&G would too. But anyways, not to divert, but just we don't have it bad. Like, I've been talking to people, and could you imagine your house being swept away?
Yes.
And the town that you live in being swept away.
Yeah.
And now, you know, where the creek went through your town is now a river. And the road is gone because the river is going where the road was.
And videos are coming out now too, like of what exactly happened in a lot of those situations in North Carolina. And they weren't just dealing with swelling rivers; they were dealing with land mudslides as well. And when these mudslides, like, I watched one just the other day, and the river was, you know, holding its own, like it was getting a little bit bigger, but it was holding its own. And then out of nowhere, this mudslide just come down the mountain, wiped, like, he said specifically, the river was stopped for 40 seconds, and then it just went and diverted. And that's kind of what happened in those situations where it wasn't just river. You're dealing with what mudslides. You're dealing with, like, I saw a video as well, like these huge container, like the
Shipping containers.
Connex shipping containers, just barreling down these rivers, knocking bridges out in their way and in their path. And like we did have a bad situation here in our area, and there are still people with stuff on their homes. There are still people who can't live in their homes. Their homes are unlivable, and we do not by any means want to diminish that, but we just feel our hearts are with those right now that literally don't have a roof over their head at all. And so all that to say, we've decided to make as many runs as we need to, as long as we need to.
Because the need is so great. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, children, men, women, who have nothing, who everything that they owned was swept away. And so they're having to replenish. And now, like, cold weather's coming in, so they have no jackets, they have no socks, no boots. And the need for those things is getting taken care of, and we're still collecting for that. But the need is even greater. Like, they need generators and camp stoves and sleeping bags and tents and drop cords or extension cords. I said drop cord to somebody earlier today, and they didn't know what I was talking about. I said, maybe that's the South Carolina thing, but I had a drop cord. So I changed it. I said an extension cord, and she knew exactly what I was talking about. So anyway, she's like, I never heard it called that, but
okay.
Anyways,
that's a whole nother subject, because I think of extension cord as something, kind of a little bit different.
It's
but
okay.
Whatever.
Yeah,
anyway,
but
they need those things.
yes.
Did you say tents?
Hot hands.
Yeah.
Like little
I keep
pouches of
forgetting about
hot hands. They need those hot
those
hands.
Things are.
They need warm sleeping bags and jackets and things to stay warm, socks and boots and things like that. But so we are collecting again for those type things, and we'll be going up very, very soon again. But
we're trying to be mindful too. Like I keep talking to Joe about this because we had some friends that went through Hurricane Katrina, and he said sometimes people's gifts can be like a little overwhelming, well, a lot overwhelming, especially like when people come and just drop them off and don't, maybe don't have them organized, or maybe don't have like intention behind. They just drop it off like, here's a bag of whatever. People get overwhelmed, and then things just sit there and they don't really serve the purpose that they're intended to serve. And that's something that I'm especially trying to be mindful of, is making sure that things are organized, things are intentional, things are specific needs. Joe is talking to people, I'm talking to people that are just like, what are the needs for your town? Like, what do your kids, like, what's the biggest need for your section? And I think that's important. And I know there's some really large organizations out there, Samaritan's Purse. Like, I know there's a bunch of places that you can help and do things with, and all of that's wonderful. And still, like, I think you should participate those if that's where you feel led. For us, we're just trying to meet individual needs just for people that we know. Joe does have family that's there in North Carolina, and while none of them were directly affected, like, they're able to point us in directions. We have friends there, so that's just what we're trying to do. Everyone's trying to help in some way, shape, or form. I think the biggest thing is that people are saying, while the rest of the country has gone what they deem back to normal, even our area, like, they look at us and they consider, well, we're back to normal. There's still people that aren't back to normal. They won't be back to normal for months, if not years. I don't know.
Yeah, this is going to be a long process.
And something else that's being talked about routinely, and I will get on a soapbox about this, and insurance companies can be a joke and a crockery. Like, it annoys me so badly. I watched a couple of different videos where there's individuals whose insurance adjusters have physically told them that they are not going to cover their home because they did not have flood insurance. They're in the mountains. Why did they need to have flood insurance in the mountains? And it's all because people are having to be specific on how they word their policy when they talk to the insurance adjusters. So some people may not ever rebuild, is what I'm trying to say. And it's just sad. But all that to say, we're going to continue helping. We're going to continue doing what we need to do, what we feel led to do. It is not Joe and I. It is whoever.
We're just being the hands and feet, because
we're just trying to help.
Everyone else has had an outpouring of just love and support, and what can I do to help? And this is how you can help. You can help by donating money, or donating, like, a lot of people around here bought generators. And so if you feel led to donate your generator, we will take it to them. If you can get your hands on 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 camp stoves, propane bottles with the little screw-in heaters on the top. Those are the type things that you need to think about. Like, I mentioned this to someone the other day. Think of what you would need, or what you would want to have, if it were you losing your house and having to stay in a tent. Like, what kind of things would you want? Because male and female and children, all their needs are different.
Yeah.
And so, me being like head of my household, I'm thinking I would want to provide warmth for my family at night. So I would want a propane bottle or something with a screw-on heater, or I'd want some kind of way to provide heat for my family. And just the needs are so vast and so great. We've gotten a lot of monetary donations, and I literally just told Hope just yesterday, you could go buy $3,000 worth of white long socks, and I think every one of them would be appreciated and used. Like, there's just so much need up there. And we're trying to do everything we can. Praise the Lord that we've got this moving van that we're able to
do that with,
take and haul things back and forth to help them get their needs met, because without it, I don't know what we would have done.
Honestly, the moving van has kind of been like a little aggravating topic for me for the last year since we've had it. But like right now at this moment, I do feel, I know, I would just see it in the driveway. But anyway, now I'm just sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, like this is for such a time as this is. I mean, like, I just appreciate your forward thinking. I know your passion behind the moving van, but I'm thankful that right now it's being used in that way, just because
this is not the Truth Podcast.
What?
This is not the Truth Podcast.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that about it.
Well, it's just kind of like we haven't been able to use it yet like we thought we were going to be able to use it yet. So now it's like it's being used, and we've actually kind of had to put the plan. We've used it, but we've had to put our plans on hold with it a little bit. And long story short, like we're using it for this purpose at the moment, and I think it's awesome. I'm praising you for your forward thinking.
But anyways.
I can't wait for this podcast to come out.
Wow.
Anyway, all that to say, it has been used.
It has been used, and like I said, that thing was slam packed,
yes,
top to bottom, front to back. And it's a big moving van. It's huge, and we weren't even halfway finished unloading our van number 1.
Yeah.
And the people sorting everything at the donation center would come out and peep their heads out and go, "Are y'all about done?"
Yeah.
And we're like, we're not even halfway done with the first van. And so they were blown away. And that's not to give credit to us.
No,
that is
no.
to just let everyone know, like, your love and support and wanting to help people of Western North Carolina, what it did. And it made an impact on even the people sorting the items that outside people would do that, not even from that area or anything. But anyways, we are continuing our efforts, going back, filling donations. And so I would say like the top items are what I mentioned before: generators, camp stoves, propane bottles, hot hands. That'd be a big one.
Yes.
What else?
I mean, I'd still say jackets, but even at that, like when I went shopping for jackets for women, I got larges and extra larges. And for men, I got extra larges and 2XLs, because here's the thought behind that. If you're smaller than that, you can still use it. But I didn't go in smaller sizes than that.
If you're bigger than a small and that's the only thing there, then it's
so I
useless.
felt like it was more versatile. So if you do choose to get jackets, I would say bigger. But yeah, and
one thing I've had to clarify with a lot of people is on a lot of our posts and videos, we were saying new items, but then in the written part of the post, I was saying new or gently used items. And all that is fine if you want to donate something and it's gently used. It's just we don't want any socks or underwear with holes or stains in them. And I'm looking at every one of these cameras so Drew can get that point across when he gets this out. No holes and stains. We do not want any used socks or underwear.
Right.
And everybody did very, very well with providing very, very, very good stuff.
Right.
Even if it was gently used, it was very good. Right. And so we're just very appreciative of it all. And we know they are. We know they are.
Yeah. So yeah, and organizing is again, that's our big thing. Is we
Hope
didn't have
is going
time
to try to take it up there this next time, organized.
Yes, we weren't able to do that last time because it was so much.
It was so much.
When it comes into us, a lot of people, I would say probably 75% of the people,
a lot of people
brought
went ahead
us stuff,
and organized
they organized it and labeled the bags, and that
just super
was
nice.
Huge. And I know people think, oh well, I'm donating, just take it. I get what you're saying, but when you're in it and you're trying to, like,
you're trying to get it out quick. because these people need it.
If they need it now and they don't, there's not a lot of time to sort.
It's kind of just speeding up the process.
Right.
If you could sort it before we even take it. And so, but I will tell you, the last trip that we took we had so much stuff. We tried sorting it.
Yes.
But then by the time we packed it in the vans, we were just, by the end of it, we were just like, just put it in there.
But that was a good thing.
Very good thing.
It was a very good thing. I got a little stressed about that because I just was thinking in my brain like, oh my gosh, these poor people in the sorting facility, and it is what it is. But for the most part, it was done and organized. But that's what I would say. Whatever you do, wherever you are at, however you're donating, just keep in mind like
things you'd want, things that you would want.
I mean, and you say like if you didn't have power, electricity, so on and so forth, I would go on and say, if you're camping, what do you need when you're camping? Like, just pretend you don't even have a house. You're in the wilderness and you need to eat those little metal coffee, coffee things that you, that some people call them espresso. You can put them over a campfire, things like that, like camping gear type things, because again, when we were in situations where we didn't have power for long periods of time, we had to get real creative, and gas is not always a plenty, and neither is propane. So I was even thinking outside the box too, and Joe and I are kind of batting around like little portable like wood burning type stoves that you could put and take into tents, things like that. I know that's clearly wood would be a plenty in those situations because of so many splintered trees and different things around them. So just think like that. Think you're in the wilderness, you don't have anything. What do you need? And the little coffee percolators, people probably would, it would be a life-changing experience to have a cup of coffee. I know that sounds minor in the grand scheme of things, but sometimes that's just what you need to get past your next minutes.
I know when we have lost power for days, that cup of coffee
would mean the world. The world. Like even this past time, we lost it just for a little bit.
That was the first thing
brewing cups of coffee.
I literally took my coffee maker outside and plugged it up in my truck.
In the truck. Yep. So,
Get your day started.
So, even if it's whatever. So those type things. But
anyways, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Yes. Thank you from the people of Western North Carolina, because I know they are so appreciative of everything that was donated and has and continues to be donated. And just know that every dollar donated has gone towards these people.
Yes.
We have not used it for our gas, our lunch, nothing. No. It is absolutely 100%. In fact, we have put money with it to be able to buy another sleeping bag or another something just to make a difference in one more person's life.
Right.
So just know that every single dollar donated is going to help the people of Western North Carolina. But thank you all so much. I was thinking small, and
it was bigger than us.
It was huge, and so it was much bigger than us. But it shows just how much people wanted to help.
And as long as people want to help,
continuing to want to help.
As long as people want to help, we'll do what we can do to get them there.
Yes, and every day I'm getting, hey, I've got $500 cash I want to drop off by you, or someone texted me just today and was like, hey, I get paid on Friday. What else do they need?
Right.
So people are waiting till they get paid to go and help these other people.
And I know
it means a lot.
It does. And I know this has gone a little bit longer, but I do want to tell y'all about my little friend that I have that I think we're going to go to next to deliver stuff. Like, she got me when she was just driving through her town, Swinoa, North Carolina, and she was showing the devastation, and she was crying, like pouring her heart out. And she wasn't talking about what she lost, what her family lost, even what the town lost. She was showing the damage, but what she was crying over and what her heart was being, moved by is she's a young child, like educator. She's a teacher, but younger students. And she said that she's just thinking about her students and that they've already gone through COVID. they've already gone through so much in their short little lives, and now they've lost everything. And her heart was just, Lord, please provide what needs to be provided for these kids so that they do not carry that with them for the rest of their lives. Because her whole heart was their short little span of time. They've gone through so much. And those are things that I didn't think about. I mean, I want to help. Let's do this. But like, it's a lot bigger than any of us could ever think it could be. And whatever we can do to help, that's what we want to do. So that's.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It is very heavy.
It's very heavy. So, but thank you all so much. Continue to donate. Let us know if you want to donate money, or if you need to drop things off, or if you want to go buy a generator or extension cords or heaters, propane bottles, whatever, and you need us to come pick it up locally.
Right.
We've got plenty of hands and feet on the ground in all areas of the CSRA that can pick these items up and get in our collection spot. That way we can take it up.
Right.
So, but thank y'all from the bottom of our heart. And I just know that it is making a huge difference in people's lives to know that they're warm, that people outside of their little area cares about them. And that's all we're trying to do.
Right.
So anyways, we're going to put a list down below this. Lindsay just worked on one, so we've got a list to put down. It's got the drop-off locations on it and some of our needs that we are asking for donations for. So look for the list down below. It'll be on all of our social media platforms as well. So just look for that list. It is everything that we've named in this podcast. And so if you feel led to donate, please let us know and we'll get you in the right direction. So thank y'all for joining us on this episode of the Gather in Place podcast. We will catch y'all next time.